How to take care of a baby parrot. Caring for baby parrots is a rewarding experience, but it requires knowledge and commitment. Baby parrots shouldn't be purchased until they've been weaned to avoid health complications. Once weaned, baby parrots should be fed soft seeds, fruits, and vegetables until they're old enough to eat pellets and dried seeds. They must be kept at a temperature of 65 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Parrot growth stages. There are 5 development stages of a baby parrot's growth: neonate, nestling, fledgling, weanling, juvenile, neonate. During the first stage of life, newly hatched parrots are born with their eyes closed. They're also naked, blind, and deaf, so they're dependent on their owners. In the wild, hatchlings are fed food that their parents regurgitate. In the absence of a mother and father, owners must provide the baby parrots with a special hand-rearing formula through a syringe. Nestling. When the parrot reaches the nestling stage, it opens its eyes but remains dependent on its owners. Imprinting occurs during stage 2. When the chick first opens its eyes, it forms a deep bond with its parents. If another parrot isn't present, the baby parrot will imprint on its human owner instead. This stage is vital for a parrot's development. As such, it will need visual, touch, sound stimulation, and interactive enrichment. Fledgling. The fledgling stage is when a parrot begins to learn how to fly. Some parrots start to lose weight, as they're more preoccupied with flying than eating. As a result, they're dependent on their owners or parents for food. Once the parrot has learned how to fly, it's a good time to clip its wings. However, doing so too early will prevent a parrot from ever learning how to fly. Wing clipping stops a parrot from flying away and protects it from dangers around the house, such as windows, ovens, and ceiling fans. Weanling. In the weanling stage, parrots begin to eat food independently and start to consume solid foods. Weaning parrots begin to forage and develop skills that allow them to take care of themselves. Juvenile. Parrots become pre-adolescent birds and can fend for themselves. They'll be on solid food without the need for formula. They'll be independent of their parents but won't have reached sexual maturity yet. At this stage, juvenile parrots won't have their full adult color. This tends to develop after the molting season, so don't be alarmed if your baby parrot doesn't look how you'd expect it to. This stage is when breeders are most likely to sell their parrots. The parrot should be at least 8 to 12 weeks old before it goes to its new home. What do you feed baby parrots? Hagen Avicultural Research Institute artificially incubated citizen eggs and babies without parents need to be hand-fed for 3–5 months. To do this, mix your chosen hand-rearing formula in boiled water that's been allowed to cool. Stir all the lumps and bumps out to form a smooth, thickened mixture. When hand-feeding baby parrots, the temperature of the food must be below 45 degrees Celsius before feeding. If it's under 40 degrees Celsius, there's a risk of it fermenting and causing infection. However, most baby parrots will be cared for by their parents during the first stages of life. You should only get parrots that have been weaned, as hand feeding has a range of complications that can compromise the parrot's health. Once the parrot has reached the weaning stage, it needs a supply of soft seeds and vegetables. Safe foods include soaked and sprouted seeds, cooked sweet corn kernels, soft vegetables, fresh fruits, a selection of greens, including chickweed and dandelion leaves. It takes a while for a baby parrot's digestive system to become robust enough to cope with dried seeds and pellets. However, it's safe to leave out a small dish of pellets that parrots can forage through. Also, make sure there's always a shallow bowl of fresh water left in its cage. Baby parrots shouldn't be fed water orally as they can drown. They receive hydration through regurgitated foods and hand-rear formula, so they only need water bowls once they move on to solid foods when they are around 4 weeks old. Baby parrot feeding schedule. According to VCA hospitals, how much and often to feed depends on the baby parrot's age and growth rate. Young birds need regular feeding and eat more often than older birds. The following guidelines set out how much food the average baby parrot needs. All feeding should be carried out between 6 a.m. and midnight. 1–2 weeks, feed 6–10 times a day, every 2–3 hours. 2–3 weeks, feed 5–6 times a day, every 3–4 hours. 3–4 weeks, feed 4–5 times a day, every 4 hours. At 4 weeks old, the bird can be put into a cage with a low perch and a shallow water bowl. 5–6 weeks, feed twice daily. Soft seeds, fruits, veggies, and a small bowl of pellets can be put in the cage. 7 weeks, place the bird in a large cage with pellets in cups scattered across the floor. 8 weeks, the weaning process should be started. Provide nutritionally complete pellets for the parrot to eat by itself. After feeding, examine the parrot's crop. While the bird has few feathers, you can easily see when it is full. However, a gentle examination using the thumb and index finger can also help you check the crop's fullness. Healthy parrots should respond well to every feed, and the crop should empty between feedings. They should also produce regular droppings. How to keep a baby parrot warm. When a parrot is old enough to live in a cage, the ideal temperature is between 65 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Temperatures below 40 degrees are dangerous for birds and can lead to a range of health problems. Similarly, temperatures above 85 degrees cause heat stress. Parrots also need appropriate ventilation to remain cool and comfortable. However, keeping young chicks warm is a more complicated story, as even the smallest temperature changes can be fatal. However, in the absence of parents, you'll need to provide the baby parrot with plenty of warmth to help it survive. To do so, follow these steps. Make a brooder. You'll need a container for the parrot to live in. Commercial brooders are expensive, but you can easily make one yourself with a fish tank or plastic container. Opt for metals or plastics that are easy to sanitize. Cardboard boxes don't last long and can't be cleaned. Also, try to choose a brooder that allows the parrot to move about it as it grows. Fill it with substrate. You'll need to cover the floor of your chosen container with a substrate. Small parrots do well with folded up newspaper on the bottom of the brooder. You can also use paper towels or nappies. Avoid wood shavings or cat litter, as curious chicks will try to eat it. Heat the brooder. If you're using a commercial brooder, it will already have a heating function that can be thermostatically controlled. If you've made your own, you'll need to line it with a heat mat suitable for reptiles. Make sure your chosen source of heat has a thermostat so that you can amend the temperature when you need to. You can also use a desk lamp set up over the brooder. With this method, use a red bulb that won't disturb the chicks. Always keep an eye on the temperature, too. The temperature inside the brooder should be 1 to 5 days, 96 degF. Day 5 to 10, 95 degF. From 10 days until they have developed a few feathers, 91 degF. When they have most of their down feathers, 84-89 degF. When the wings and head are mostly covered by feathers, 78-82 degF. Once the chick reaches 3 to 4 weeks of age, it can regulate its own body temperature. At this stage, you can remove the heat source. To keep a baby parrot warm, make sure the room the parrot lives in is maintained at the right temperature. Do baby parrots sleep a lot? The majority of parrots are either tropical or subtropical. They live near the equator, which gets 12 hours of darkness each night. As a result, parrots are awake from sunrise to sunset and need between 12 to 14 hours of uninterrupted sleep each day. Baby birds will need more than this as they're growing and developing, though it's hard to know how often they'll sleep for certain. The reality is chicks will rest as much as they need to.